Hello, welcome back. I have some red, white, and blue racing on the table. So I have started the 1984 season and have completed two races, and so far Dale Earnhardt has won both of those races. So I'm doing a point system that I kind of created on my own. So those of you who are NASCAR purists will probably not approve. I know baseball is my game, and when people do things that mess up baseball or that are different, it kind of bugs me a little bit. So I get it, but it seemed a little complicated to me and more work than I wanted to do. So my point system is that if you win the race, you get 20. If you're in the top group, you get 10. If you're in the middle group, you get 5. If you're in the bottom and finish, you get 2 points. If you were in the bottom and didn't finish the race, you get 1 point. And then I give an additional bonus point for every time that you take first place, including if you got first place as the pole position in qualifying. So that if you win the race, you don't get those bonus points. You just get the 20. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. So it just is fun for me. So again, as I get into NASCAR more, I might go ahead and do something a little bit closer to that. But for me, this lets me do the season and have a relatively simple point system and keep track of everything. So as you can see, Dale Earnhardt is on top with 40 points as he has won both races. Benny Parsons is second, as you can see, with 21 points. Harry Gant at 20. Darrell Waltrip and Terry Labonte round out the top 5. So it goes down to very bottom there. So we got 64 total racers in this set. One thing I don't know what to do yet, haven't figured out how I want to work it, is the teams that have alternate racers. So I haven't figured out anything that I like. So far I'm just going with whoever the primary racer was. So I don't know, like Jim Sauter, Jimmy Ingles on the number 6 team. I guess I could maybe look and see who played in the real life race, but I'm not doing as played, so to speak. So I probably will go ahead and just go with whoever the primary driver is. If anybody has any suggestions on how they handle the alternate drivers, other than trying to figure out who did it in real life. I do know I looked at, I don't remember which team it was, but it was the instructions tell you that you don't want to have both of those racers on the same team in the race. However, when I looked at the as played, so to speak, Daytona 500 for 1984, there was one of the teams that had 2 of the racers on the same team in the race. Now, I don't know if maybe they weren't in the same team at that point, but there was one team, I think it was actually 71, which is Lenny Pond is the backup, and I don't know who let's see, 71 is Mike Alexander. Yeah, so if I'm pretty sure that's the one, but they were both in the Daytona 500. So, again, I'm not for sure how to work that. So any suggestions on that, feel free to chime in. So there you have it. Dale Earnhardt so far has won my first 2 races. So we'll get to the table here. So the third race is the Carolina 500 that was ran on March the 4th, 1984. Bobby Allison was the winner of this race. So I think the thumbnail I'm using is a picture of Bobby Allison with Richard Petty. So we'll see who wins it in our replay. So as we go along, I'll kind of show you some things. I know that the set has some special things, like I think it was Terry Labonte didn't race every race, and there was another race, and they have a rating, a number on their trophy rating as to whether they will do that race. So again, instead of doing as played, I'm using that to kind of do a little bit more as what if for those racers. So anyway, our first TV racer will be Earnhardt, and he's won the last 2 races and is the top point guy in this race. This is a 50 turn race, so I probably will divvy this up into two videos. We'll do the qualifying, and then we'll race a while, and then we'll stop it, and then do the second part later. Break it up into two because it'd be a really long video if we didn't. So, not to make it too long, I'll stop talking, and we will race or roll for our TV drivers. So we got 3. How about that? So we've already got 1, so we're just going to have 2 more. Top 2 off the pile here. So number 1 is Richard Bouchard. Let's see, 47. Let's see, where's he at? A lot of racers, so it's kind of hard to remember. Bouchard. I've got to find him on my list here. There he is. So he's got 4 points. So that looks like he's probably been in the actually, I can look. Let's see. Bouchard is 47. Yeah, he has finished the race twice, but been in the bottom group twice. So he's TV racer number 1 and TV racer number 2 today. Oh, I already did number 2. He is Mark Stahl. So I don't think he is. Let's see, 82. Yeah, he's been in it. Let me just look here. Easier place, 82. He didn't qualify in the Daytona 500, and he got 5 points, so that means he made the middle group in the last race. Let's see. 82, yeah, he came in 15th, so it's kind of fun to keep track again with so many racers. Obviously, I know what Dale Earnhardt's doing, but, you kind of forget who placed where, but he came in, he came in 82, he came in 15th. Last race, which was the Miller High Life 400 at the Richmond Fairgrounds. That was a shorter race. So we'll roll for their TV. All right, so Bouchard will go first. So he gets a 52. New sponsor for this race. Extra publicity, placement C. So we got Earnhardt again. He was the last winner. And 47, or 52 rather. So new sponsor. Placement C. So he's he's going to be a gold because he was the first one picked. So Trophy gains the blue position in the middle group. So that's 3. So he'll be 12th. And then Mark Stahl gets a 51. Driver appears on ESPN at Race Week segment. Placement C. 82. Makes ESPN, and he gets a placement C, so he's not rated. And so that puts him at the top of the bubble stack. All right, so let's get those gold racers real quick. Normally I would pause it, but there's only 2 of them, so that shouldn't take long. So Bouchard. Oh, I got to do for Earnhardt, don't I? 82. See what Earnhardt has to say. Stahl on the top of the bubble. All right, so we'll see what Earnhardt comes out as. 32. Team cohesion during race week. Placement A plus a performance chip. And he is a silver driver. So silver or bronze trophy driver gains blue die position in the top group. So he got a 2. So Earnhardt will be 3rd with his performance chip. So Earnhardt starting off this race good. 32. So team cohesion. And he gets the A placement. Again with a silver trophy. Gains the blue position in the top group. All right, very good. So there we have our TV racers, just 3. So we'll do our fast drivers. So we got 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And again, these you just place based on their trophy rating. All right, so we got Dick May is next position in the bottom group, so he had a good race. I don't think Dick May has been in anything yet. Yep, he hasn't qualified yet, so he'll get in his first race. Terry Richmond is a silver, so that's the highest position in the top group, so Richmond will be second. And Bill Elliott, he will take the pole position. He had a duel with in the first race, the Daytona 500, with number 4. I don't remember who number 4 was. 4 was Tommy Ellis, the rookie, and so he knocked Ellis out in a duel, and then in a revenge, Ellis was able to knock him out, and Ellis was up in the top group for a while, but he ended up finishing number 27th. But that was kind of exciting. So how I'm doing the duels is that if there's a duel and one of them get collected, then that's a duel, and then I only do it for no longer than the next race. So in only one instance. So once they have a retaliation, I take it off, because if you carry that too far, it can really mess them up. So the one duel I have carried over from the last race is 55 and 16. So 55 is Benny Parsons. He took out number 16, David Pearson. So Pearson is fuming, and that's the one we have carried over from the last race, which was, again, the Miller High Life 400. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. They leave that kind of open in the directions. So, all right. Phil Parsons is bronze. So he goes into the top position in the middle group. Tommy Ellis, Speaker of the Devil. So he got his revenge on Elliott. McDuffie will be number 10, J.D. McDuffie. Randy Baker, let's see, 87. This will be his first race. He didn't qualify for the first 2, so he'll be in his first race. And Bobby Gerhart, number 59. I think that's his, that's his first race too. So these 3 fellas will all 3 be in their first race. So that's it for the fast. Let me pause it real quick while I update my scorecard, and then we'll go to the slow drivers. Okay, so now we'll roll for our slow drivers. We just got 4 of those this week. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, you don't roll for this. You just kind of place them based on their trophy rating. So number 1 is Derek Cope. So he will not qualify. Let's see. Look at him here. Derek Cope. He's actually, even though he is a non-trophied, he was finished in the bottom group at the Daytona 500 and came in the middle group at the Miller High Life 400. So this would be the first race he misses. Number 2 is Lake Speed. He's a silver, so he will be at the top of the bubble. Ricky Rudd is a gold. Let's see, Bobby Allison again won this race in real life. Ricky Rudd won the Miller High Life in real life, but he wasn't able to persevere. He ended up actually 10th in that last race. So the gold goes to the next position in the bottom group. And then lastly, we got Ruttman, who's a silver. Joe Ruttman, he will go there. So those are the slow groups. So 23 is Ricky Rudd, who is slow. All right. So from here, you just place them, again, based on their, got gold here, silver, bronze, and then anybody who is not trophied goes there. Okay, now I didn't. Let me see. I haven't been doing. Yeah, I'll do it next race. I haven't been doing the trophies there. I might skip that and just go ahead and race everybody, the whole season. This time, not for sure, but we'll skip it this time. The number next to their trophy to see if they are trophied this race or not. All right. So silver is Dave Marcus, goes in number 11. Bronze, Ken Reagan at 24th. Bronze, Doug Heverin. Richard Petty will go number 13. Bobby Hillen Jr. will be 26. Morgan Shepherd will be number 27. Bobby Allison, again, who won this race in real life, will be in 14. Dwyer, the rookie, will be in 28. Buddy Baker, number 15. Jeff Bodine will be 4th. Herschel McGriff will be 16th. Benny Parsons will be 5th. Again, he's second in points. Trevor Boys will be 29th. Terry Labonte will be in 6th. Dick Brooks, number 90, will be 30th. Rusty Wallace, the rookie of the year this year, will be 17th. Buddy Arrington will be number 31. Jerry Bowman will go in the bubble group. Greg Sachs, another rookie, will be number 32. Cale Yarborough will be number 7. 33rd will be Ronnie Thomas. Jody Ridley, number 18. Harry Gant, who doesn't have any more places in the top group, will take the next best one at number 19. Dean Combs, 34. Hooker, the bubble. Sterling Martin, 35. Tommy Gale, 36. Dave Pearson, who's silver, will have to go to 37. Again, he's doing the duel with number 55, Benny Parsons, so we'll keep an eye on that possibility. So DK Ulrich will be 38. Kyle Petty, 39. Darrell Waltrip all the way down to number 40. Schoonover will be in the bubble. Mike Alexander. Southard will be in the bubble. Elliot Forbes Robinson will be on the bubble. A.J. Foyt, who's yet to make a race. Looks like he's not going to make this one. Dean Roper. Jimmy Means, 42. Neil Bonnet all the way down to 43. So how about that? We got 2 silver drivers, Lake Speed and Joe Ruttman, who aren't going to make this one. So there you have it. Our field is set for the Carolina 500. All right, so I'll pause it here to update my scorecard again, and then we will begin the race. Okay, so we will get things started. So after thinking about it, I think I'm going to go ahead and include every racer in every race. So that way, Cale Yarborough, who only raced like in half of the races, he'll be in all of them, and so we'll just go with that and see how the year progresses. So again, this is kind of a replay. I'm not doing, again with this, you can kind of do as played, so to speak. You can look and to see. You can even put them in the positions that they qualified in, but I'm go ahead and kind of doing a little bit more wide open. and seeing how it goes. Maybe I might do another, you know, season where I do that. But for this, I'm kind of using the games qualifying round, and again, I think I'm just going to go ahead and let every racer be involved, not use the alternative drivers for this season, and just kind of see how that plays out. So that should be fun. All right, so again, we got a 50-turn race. We'll play a little while here and then pause it and do the second round. So again, I still pretty new at this. I feel like I'm pretty confident, but I imagine I'll probably forget something. So I'm doing some of the advanced things. Some I'm not doing some others of the advanced just yet. So as they come open or available or up, you'll see the ones that I'm doing. But as usual, if you see anything that I missed, please put it in the comments, as I would like to get better at this. But again, we'll play and have some fun either way. So, all right, so let's get this race started. All right, so we'll roll for our turn one. We got a 112, so it looks like we got some excitement already. So 12 is trouble in the top group. So here at North Carolina Motor Speedway, quite often 12 is a rare play, but the rare on this card is on 2, so we got a trouble right off the bat. So this should be exciting. All right, so we'll start with so the top group in trouble. I believe you do include the leader in this. So Bill Elliott is an 8. He gets a 6, so he's safe. Tim Richmond is a 5, and he gets a 6, so Tim Richmond will be collected. Earnhardt's a 10, and he has the blue chip if he needs it, and he's going to need it. He rolled an 11, so Earnhardt uses his chip right away. Jeff Bodine is an 8. He gets a 10. He's collected. Benny Parsons is an 11, and he's good. Terry Labonte is an 11. He's good with a 6, and Cale Yarborough is a 10, and he rolls a 9. So we won't have a big one because you need 3 to drop down to the next group. So that will be a turn, and then we got 1 yellow because we got 2. If you got 3 or more, you lose 2 turns to the yellow. So we lost 2 there, so we'll see if those guys make it. So we got the yellow flag. So Earnhardt will move up to 2nd. Benny Parsons down to 3rd. Labonte will go 4th. Cale Yarborough 5th. Parsons and a yellow, they just move up. Tommy Ellis will be 7, the rookie. McDuffie, Marcus, and then I won't do every name, but you can see there, I think. Hopefully you can read this. This is zoomed in as much as I can to get the whole field. Again, I'd like to show the dice, but it just takes too much space, and so I'd rather you be able to see the cards. But I'm open to suggestions. So let me pause this while I move these people up. Okay, let's roll to see if Bodine is. So he's a C pit crew when we're in the first. So he needs a 1 to 9 to stay in the race. So Bodine gets an 8. So he will. Oop, I didn't move people up as well as I thought I did. There we go. So Bodine will go 42nd. So we'll write this down. Turn number 1, wreck. So far we got Bodine who makes it, and then Richmond is a D, and on trouble he needs an 8 to stay in the race, and he gets a 2. So both guys will stay in the race. 5 and 27, and that'll do it for the first 2 turns again because we had the yellow. All right, so turn number 3 coming up. So again, not a bad wreck to start things off. Just Richmond and Bodine get intertwined. So that's a 4-5. 4 is the middle group, and a 5 we're looking for the star quality. So we'll start with Dick May. He's got a 3 on his gas pedal. Goodness. Get the die here. So So he gets a 4, so that's not going to cut it. Harry Gant has the star quality. He's got a 5 pedal. He gets a 4. He's going after number 2 with a 5. 1, 2, 3, and he's going to overtake Parsons. So Benny Parsons drops down, and Harry Gant moves up to 3rd. Let's see. Ridley doesn't have it. Rusty Wallace has the star. He's got a 4 pedal, and he gets a 4. He's going after 4, and he rolled a 6, so that's automatic. So Cale Yarborough drops to 15th, and Rusty Wallace up to 5th. Buddy Baker is the next one with the star. He gets a 2, which is good. He's going after Rusty Wallace with a 5, and he will move Wallace. So Wallace is up and back. Bobby Allison doesn't have the star. Richard Petty has the double star. And let's see, this is an intermediate track. So on a speedway, Richard Petty has a boutique rating where he gets a 5 on his pedal. But this is not a speedway, so he just is a 4 now. And he rolls a 2. He's going after number 2 with a 3. And that's not going to be enough, as Harry Gant has a 3. So Richard Petty not able to move Gant. And then the last one with a star is Dave Marcus, who is from Wisconsin, as I understand it. So he gets a 4, and his gas is 3, so he will not be able to move up. So that'll do it for turn number 3. So turn number 4 coming up. We get a 2-10, and we got a double. So that means we have an added trouble in the group. 2 is the top group. So or an added problem rather. So we'll do the problem last. So 10 is the heat quality. So Tommy Ellis doesn't have it. Phil Parsons does. So Bill Elliott in the lead needs a 5 or 6. So he doesn't have the heat. So a 5 or 6 on the blue die. He gets a 4. That won't cut it. Buddy Baker, again, needs a 5 or 6. He gets a 2 on the blue die. Not good enough. Terry Labonte. He gets a 2. That won't cut it. And Harry Gant without. That's the only quality Harry Gant doesn't have. So Dale Earnhardt with the heat, with a chance to get back in first place again. And he gets a 5, and that's going, and a 3 on the, and so Dale Earnhardt is back in first place. So again, he has won the first 2 races, and here on turn number 4, he is in first place again. He won 2 races in real life this season, so he has already met his quota. So we'll see how he does here. See if he can hang on for 3 in a row. That would be something. All right, so we got a problem because we rolled doubles. So we got to find who the person is. So again, we are in the top group. So the red die, unless it's doubles, it's a 2. So Harry Gant with the problem. Let's see what kind of problem he has. 65, black smoke from under hood, roll for repair. All right, so that's going to knock him out. So that's not a yellow, though. So on turn number 4, 33, he's got some smoke. Let's see if he passes the repair. Excuse me. So he's a B. We are in the first group, so a problem. He needs a 1 to 9, and he's able to stay in the race. So now this one is not yellow, so you have to earn your way up to the next group. So J.D. McGuffey is a 3, and he rolls a 1, so he's able to move up to number 7. And we'll move everybody down. Try to do it quickly. All right, so you got Bobby Gerhardt's a 2, and he gets a 1. So how about that? Gerhardt able to move up in his first race, moves up to 19th. So I'll pause it real quick, move these rest of these people up. So far we've had 3 guys, 2 with wrecks and 1 with some smoke problems, but so far all 3 have been able to stay in the race, so we still got our original 43 in the group. So let's see, that was turn number 4. We just did. All right. So turn number 5 coming up. Oh, that's going to be a duel. So we got 6, 11. 11 is the number 3 cars in the middle group. So we got Herschel McGriff going for Dave Marcus. He's a 4. So he's going to try it. And he gets a 6. Oh, and he has a 6. So he has a trouble and a problem. So that challenge didn't work out well for McGriff. So Rusty Wallace, he's going to go after Marcus. He's got a 4, and he rolls a 5. So how about that? Both guys failed in their challenges. So let's see. So McGriff needs to escape. He's got an 11, so he should make that. He did, but he rolled a 6, so he's got a problem. Because, again, that's what the yellow triangle with the exclamation point. If you roll a 6, anytime you do a gas check, you have a problem. So he gets a 43. Oil pressure, roll for repair. So oil pressure problem. So turn number 5, 04, failed duel. All right, so he escapes, but now he's got to see if he gets the repair. So an E where the problem is 1 to 3. So that's not going to be good. And he gets a 4. So the first guy out of the race is number 4, Herschel McGriff. So he might have thought about that. So actually he's out because of the yellow triangle. So that's it for McGriff. Let's see if Rusty Wallace, his escape is a 7. And he's collected. So Rusty Wallace is out. So that's 88. Let's see if he can be repaired. So his crew is a D, and that's a trouble. So that's an 8. And he gets an 8. So Rusty Wallace is able to stay in the race. So failed duel. That will stay in the race. All right, so let's see. So those were, we had 2 no, McGriff wasn't collected. He had an oil pressure problem, so he went into the pit. Rusty Wallace was collected, and so that will be 1 yellow. So that'll do it for 5 and 6. So we got 2 guys moving up. So with the yellow, that will just be an automatic move up. I'll pause it while I do that. Okay, so number 7, Chevy Ken Reagan, and number 15, Ford Ricky Rudd, move up to the middle group. Again, we've just lost 1 racer so far, and that's Herschel McGuffey, the 04 car, and the Pontiac. All right, so that'll do it again. That was turn 5, and then 6 was a yellow because of Rusty Wallace, but he's able to be repaired and move to the back of the group. All right, so let's go on to, we have a pit for the next one. So that's 6, 11. So I think 6 is the TV drivers, and we don't have many of those. We got 2 left in the race. Mark Stahl was a TV driver, but he didn't qualify. So 5 and 6 will trade places. So we'll get that. So Reagan and Rudd move up just a little further. And then we will roll to see the yellow or the TV drivers. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Let me look at the pit turn here. 6 is the TV drivers, and the top in the middle. So that's right. So Ron Bouchard is a 7 fast pit. And he gets an 8. And so that just leaves Earnhardt with a 9. And he does. So Earnhardt's luck continues as he gets a blue chip and stays in first place. And then we will roll to see if anybody can take him. So we'll roll the black die for the top group. That's number 5. So J.D. McGuffey needs he's a 3 on his gas pedal. And he gets a 5. So he's not going to make Earnhardt use his chip. And that'll do it for the pit stop. So that was an uneventful one with the TV rating there. So turn number 8. That's a 312. So we got doubles. I think I missed an early double. So that's a 12-3 in the middle group. So that's going to be a extra problem. I did forget that. I think we rode double sixes earlier on that wreck on the first turn. So missed that. So but we'll get it this time. An extra problem. All right. So we'll start with I'll do the problem after we resolve this. So trouble here in the middle group, and we'll start with Marcus. His escape is an 8, and he gets a 9. So we collect one already. Bouchard is a 9. He gets a 3. He's good. Richard Petty is a 9, and he gets a 9. He barely makes it. Bobby Allison with a 9. Gets a 5. He's good. Cale Yarborough is a 10. He gets a 10. Another narrow escape. Ridley with a 5. He gets a 9. Ridley's out. Parsons with an 11. He gets an 8. Dick May with a 9. He gets a 7. Ricky Rudd with a 10. He gets a 5. Ken Reagan is a 3. So that doesn't bode well for him, and he gets a 12, so he's out. Randy Baker with an 11 gets a 7, and Gerhardt rather with an 8, and he gets a 5. So we lose 3 there. So that's going to be 2 yellow. So that'll take us up through the 10th. So a yellow flag. So let's go ahead, and before I move everybody up, so that's, I think you have to have 6 in the middle group to cascade down to the bottom, so we didn't have that much, so we won't have the big one on this one. So again, that's turn number 8. We got a wreck with cars number 75, 84, and 77. We'll see if they make it, so let's see who the trouble is. Or the problem, rather. So the problem is 1-1 in the middle group is driver number 1 odd. So that's Ron Bouchard. So let's see what his problem is. And he gets a 55. Odd problem. Pit crew A or B problem does not occur. And unfortunately, his pit crew is a C. So we'll see what his odd problem is as he gets a 24 on the odd. Shifter issues, roll for repair. All right, so Bouchard, 47, a problem. Shifter, so he's going to be out. Not in the yellow, but so he's going to see if he can be repaired. All right, so let's move everybody up again. We're under a yellow. So Dick May moving up. Again, this is his first race. So we got 4 coming from the bottom group. Doug Heverin, Bobby Hillen Jr., Morgan Shepard, and Clark Dwyer, the rookie. So I'm not going to pause it this time. I'll just try to hurry and get everybody moved up. That is one advantage just to doing the stack here is that you can move people up quicker. But I much prefer having everybody out on the table. So I can take a little extra time. All right, so let's see. Let's see if these guys in the wreck make it first. All right, so Dave Marcus is a C, and this was a trouble. We are still in the top first of the race, so he needs a 9 to stay in the race. He gets a 10, so Dave Marcus will not be able to finish. So 75 was out on the wreck. And turn 8. Okay, so Ridley is an E. He needs a 7 to stay in the race. And he gets an 8, so Ridley's not going to make it. So this wreck lost 2, so Ridley's out. 84, wreck. Turn 8. Okay, and Ken Reagan is a D, so he needs an 8. And he gets a 6, so Reagan will be able to make it in. So that was 3, and we lost 2. And then Ron Bouchard, his repair is a C, and that's a problem in the first group, so he needs a 7 to stay in the race. And he is able to, so Bouchard will move to number 40. So we lost 2. Again, we got 2 yellows, so that will move us into 11, turn 11. All right, so turn 11 coming up. And again, feel free if I forget something to put it in the comments so I can, again, I want to get better at this. This game is a lot of fun. This is the best game I've started anew in a while. It's one thing I really like about it is, one thing with the play games is that typically you have to do chart lookup. So like with ATBA and even Replay Baseball to some degree, I just don't like looking up charts and turning pages. With this particular game with play, you don't have to do that. So I think that's one reason why I like it, and it's just really, really well designed and a lot of fun. So, all right, turn 11. We get a 4-10. 4 is the middle group, and 10 is the heat. So Bobby Hillen Jr. has the heat. And he gets a 6, so he's not going to be able to pass because he's got a 3 gas pedal. The next heat is Dick May, again, who's having a good race for himself. He gets a 2. He's going for number 4 with a 2, and that's not going to be enough. He would need a 4 to beat Parsons, so not able to move past Parsons. And the next heat is Bobby Allison. Again, he won this race in real life. He gets a 2. He gets a 5. And a 2, and that's going to be enough to take McDuffie, as McDuffie doesn't have a star or the heat quality. So Allison will move up to number 6. See, so far I don't think he's done much. He didn't finish the race in Daytona, and then he finished in the bottom group in Miller High Life. So he's looking for a good race after 2 very subpar ones. And then Richard Petty has the heat lastly. And again, he's a 4 pedal. He gets it. He's going after number 2 with a 3, and that's not going to be enough. Labonte would need a 5 or 6. So Petty not able to move up. And that'll do it for turn 11. All right, turn number 12. We get a 4-4 back to the middle group. 4 is Trouble again. Wow. So this is that's the 3rd time we've hit Trouble. So we hit a wreck on turn 1 and turn 8. So far, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, only 5 drivers affected, and we've lost 2. All right, so we're in the middle here. Let's see who can make it through the trouble. Petty is a 9, and he gets an 8. He's good. McDuffie is an 8. Actually, his escape is a 9, and he gets a 7, so he's good. Cale Yarborough with a 10. He gets a 4. Benny Parsons is an 11. He gets a 9. Dick May is a 9. And he gets a 6. Ricky Rudd is a 10. He gets a 6. Randy Baker is an 11. He gets a 10, so he barely escapes. Bobby Gerhardt in his first race is an 8. He gets a 5. Doug Heverin with a 7, and he gets a 7. Another narrow escape. Bobby Hillen Jr. with a 5, and he gets a 5. Wow, how about that? Morgan Shepherd with an 8. He gets an 8. Wow, boy, you guys are narrowly missing trouble and disaster. Clark Dwyer with a 10, and he gets a 4. So how about that? Every single person dodges the trouble. So that's turn 12. Trouble. No collections. So how about that? So that'll do it for turn 12. All right, turn number 13 coming up. And we get the middle group with an 8 this time. An 8's going to be the skill check, so Clark Dwyer has that. He has a 3 on his gas pedal, and he gets a 6. He doesn't have the triangle, so he's good. So the next skill is Bobby Hillen Jr. He gets a 3, which is good. He's going after a 3 with a 2, and that's not going to be enough to move Buddy Baker. So the next skill is Randy Baker. And he gets a 5. He's got a 2 pedal, so he's not able to take advantage of this. Ricky Rudd has the skill, and he's got a 5 pedal. And he gets a 5. He's going after 3 with a 6. 6 always wins. So Ricky Rudd able to move Buddy Baker. Buddy Baker down to 13. Ricky Rudd up to 4th. Let's see, the next skill is Benny Parsons. And he gets a 5, going after 6 with a 3. And a 3 is going to do it. So Tommy Ellis overtaken by Benny Parsons. As Parsons moves up to the top group, number 7. Cale Yarborough has the double skill. So he gets a 4, going after 1 with a 6. 6 always wins. So Bill Elliott is overtaken by Cale Yarborough, and Cale Yarborough with the chance to take the top spot here. Let's see, Earnhardt does have the skill, so he needs a 6. And he doesn't get it. And Earnhardt has that chip to boot, so Yarborough not able to move up to the lead, but he is in 2nd place. And then the last one with a skill in this middle group is Richard Petty. He's got a 4 on his pedal, and he rolls a 6, so he will not be able to move up either. So that'll do it for turn 13. Turn 14. And that's going to be the top group with a 3, and that is TV. And there is nobody in the top group with a TV. And we don't have any doubles, so that'll do it for turn 14. Again, a light TV group this time. We just had 3, and 2 of them made the race. Earnhardt, obviously, is winning the race, and Ron Bouchard is at the bottom of the race. So no TV, and so that will go on to turn 15. And that's a top group 8, and that's doubles, so that's going to be a problem for somebody. All right, so an 8 is the skill. Benny Parsons has the skill. So again, to supplant Earnhardt, you need a 5 or a 6 rather. He gets a 1 on the blue die, not enough. Bobby Allison with the skill gets a 1 on the blue die. Phil Parsons has the skill, and he gets a 6, but he rolled a 6 on the gas, so that's not going to challenge him. Ricky Rudd has the skill, and he gets a 6 and a 5, so that's enough to do it, but Earnhardt has the chip, so Earnhardt with the performance chips able to hold off Ricky Rudd. Terry Labonte has it, so again we need a 6 to move Earnhardt. Gets a 5 on the blue die, and lastly Cale Yarborough with a double skill, so he'll get 2 cracks at him, and Earnhardt doesn't have his blue chip anymore. That's a 3. And a 5. So Earnhardt hangs on. That'll do it for turn 15. All right, turn 16. We get a 5, 6. We didn't do the trouble in that group, did we? Okay, so the trouble in the top group. Again, the top group is the red die, or the problem rather, and that's 1. So that's Cale Yarborough. So I was kind of rooting for Cale this time. But he's got problem. So let's see what kind of problem he has. 42. Brake trouble, row for repair. All right, so that's going to move Yarborough out. So he's got a B. We're still in the first third of the race, and he needs a 9 to stay in the race. And he gets a 9, so he's going to stay in, but just barely. All right, so on turn 15 with a problem, 28, he will stay in the race. All right, so that's not a yellow, so everybody is going to move up. And so Petty is a 4. And he gets a 4, so Petty able to move up to number 7. And again, everybody else will move up 1. And then Trevor Boys is a 3. And he gets a 2. So Trevor Boys moves up to the middle group, number 19. And like I said, we'll try to do this quickly. All right. So Cale Yarborough had some trouble, able to stay in the race, but finds himself in the 40th spot. All right, and so I already rolled. So we got the big group 6, which is going to be the bottom group rather. 6 is we had double, so that's going to be another problem. But we're looking for the smart first. So Cale Yarborough is smart. So let's see if he can move back up into the group. And so he's going after number 3 odd. And that's Randy Baker. He rolled a 1. And what we're looking after the smart. And Baker doesn't have it. So right away, Cale Yarborough is able to get back up to 13th. So good for him. Randy Baker drops down to number 40. So again, we're looking for 6 is the smart. All right. So Bouchard doesn't have it. Harry Gant with the smart. And he gets going after number 2 odd. And Dick May, he's got rolled a 1 on the blue die. And that's going to be enough. So Dick May easily passed by Harry Gant. All right, Tim Richmond has the smart. And he's got a 4 on the pedal, rolled a 5, so he's not able to move up. Jeff Bodine has the double smart. So he's going after number 1 even. And he rolled a 1. J.D. McDuffie has the smart, so that's just enough to hold off Bodine. But he will get effort number 2. And he's going after number 6 odd. And he rolled a 2. And so Trevor Boyce just has the 1 smart, so a 2 will do it as Bodine moves up to 19. Trevor Boyce down to 34. Let's see. Neil Bonnet has the smart. So he's going after 5 even. And he got a 3. And that's going to be enough to take Bobby Hillen Jr. So Neil Bonnet up to 16. Bobby Hillen Jr. down to 33rd. And again, we're going after the smart here. And we got a problem that we have to remember. All right, so means, again, with the smart. And he gets a 6 even. He rolled a 3. So that's enough to take out Dwyer. Mike Alexander with the smart. He gets a 5, so that's not enough, too much on the gas. Darrell Waltrip has the smart. And he's going after number 1 odd. And he got a 6. So Bill Elliott. So Darrell Waltrip able to move Elliott down. Waltrip up to number 9. So Kyle Petty has the smart. And he gets a 6, so that's going to be too much on the gas pedal. So we got a lot of smarts. So DK Ulrich, and he got a 2. He's going after number 2 even. He rolled a 3, and that's going to be enough. So DK Ulrich moves Tommy Ellis down. Ulrich up to 10th. See, so those guys don't have the smart. So it looks like Buddy Arrington is the last one in the bottom group with the smart. And he rolls a 6, so that's not going to be enough. Okay, so we got our problem. So we got to find who has the problem in the bottom group. That's a 64. That's driver number 22. 22. That's going to be Greg Sachs, the rookie. So he's got a problem. Let's see what his problem is. 45. Oil pressure problem, roll for repair. All right, so we got turn 16. Sachs is a problem. Oil pressure. So his repair is an E, and we are still just barely in the first group, so he needs a 3 to continue. And he gets a 3. How about that? So Sachs is pit crew able to pull off a miracle there. Is able to keep him in the race. So everybody will. So he goes to the pit. Move everybody else up. So again, good luck about not losing drivers. We've only lost 3, even though we've had quite a few problems. All right, so Sachs able to get the oil pressure fixed. Finds himself at the bottom of the stack. And that'll do it for turn 16. So this is we got our second pit, and this is the last turn of the first third. So I'll go ahead and we'll pause it after this one, and then pick up the last 2/3 of the race in the second video. So let's do our pit stop here. So we get a 4. So that's going to be the middle group, and a 4. So 1 and 3 change places. So Parsons moves up to second. Labonte down. 1 and 3. So Cale Yarborough, after having that trouble, is able to move back up quickly as he finds himself in 9th. Okay, and then we will roll for fast here in the middle group. So Buddy Baker's a 7. He gets a 9. He won't get it. Yarborough is an 11, so he gets a fast pit with a 2. Fast pit 4 for Ulrich, and he gets a 6. Not going to do it. Fast pit 10 for Harry Gant, and he rolls a 7. So Gant gets it. Fast pit number 3 for J.D. McGuffey. He gets an 8. That won't cut it. 9 for Waltrip. He gets a 6, so he will get his. Gerhardt has a 2, and he gets a 6. That won't do it. Heverin with a 3. Gets a 2. So how about that, Doug Heverin? Again, I think this is his first race. Let me look here. No, he actually finished in the middle group in the Daytona and finished in the bottom group in the Miller Highlight. So he's having a decent year under the circumstances. Bonnet is an 8. He gets an 11, so that won't cut it. Fast pit 9 or 5 for Shepard, and he gets an 8. Not good enough. Fast pit 4 for Jimmy Means, and he gets a 4. So Means crew able to get the fast pit, and Bodine is an 8, and he gets a 7. So everybody with a chip will move up. So let's see. These guys will move up. And so these guys move down, move up. Got to kind of keep everybody in their place. Okay. So nobody in the top group has a chip. So we will roll to see if one of these guys can challenge Earnhardt. So let's see who's going to challenge him with the black die. Number 1, Phil Parsons. So Phil Parsons needs a 1, 2, or 3. And he gets a 1. So how about that? Parsons able to move Earnhardt off the pole or off the lead. So that's a lead change here. So that's going to be pit 17, 66, Phil Parsons. We'll start the second half or second third of the race in first place. Dale Earnhardt will be second. Ricky Rudd third. Terry Labonte will be in fourth. Bobby Allison, who won this race in real life, will be number 5. Benny Parsons 6. Richard Petty, the king, will be in the 7th spot. As you can see, we've got a good array of the middle group with a performance chip. Only lost 3 racers so far, and so it looks like we are set up pretty good for the last 2/3 of this race. So, again, anything I might have missed, I know I missed the problem roll on that first trouble on turn number 1. So I know I missed that one, but anything else I might have missed, please chime in the comments. Again, this is a great game. I'm probably going to have to do a review on it once I play a little bit more. This is one of the best games I have played in a long time as far as a new game. So really, really enjoying it. It's kind of addicting. Again, I've played quite a bit of it since I got it. So anyway, I will see you next time, and we will pick up here at the Carolina 500. See if Dale Earnhardt can win his third in a row to start the year. See if Phil Parsons or one of the other guys can supplant him, or see if Bobby Allison can actually win this one like he did in real life. So anyway, I appreciate it very much, and I'll see you next time.